Hey guys, this is Wolfie here, and I'm back with another book review. And I kind of noticed this is a book review for 5 books instead of the usual 1 or 2. So I'm reviewing here. This is RWBY right here, the first one. This is the official manga by Shiro Miwa. This is based on the Rooster Teeth series created by Monty Oum. Then you have here these 4 right here. They're kind of like this, but it's highlighted on individual characters. So this first one right here is Red Like Roses with emphasis on Ruby Rose. Mirror Mirror, which emphasizes stories involving a white Schnee. From Shadows, this is based on the character Blake Belladonna. And this other one here is called I Burn, featuring stories involving Yang Xiaolong. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to emphasize this one really quickly here. So again, this is a bit of like what I liked, what I didn't like. And again, this is going to be overall scores for I wouldn't say necessary for each one, not so much individually, but as a collective. So the thing is with and I'm not gonna put in any major spoilers in here, but I do want to give out some points here and there. So with this one right here is that part of it does come down to the trailers that preceded the events in Volume 1, which started the whole series. Well, as these particular anthologies, these are a collection of stories. Again, this is the focus on each individual character. And even though it's official, again, it's an anthology, so take the information in each one of these with a grain of salt, because in sense of the romance, there's a lot of debates going on at the moment. There's nothing has been confirmed with like the romance side as of yet, even though people are saying this is canon, that's canon. Nothing's canon as of yet. So again, like I said, take everything in the anthologies with a grain of salt. So what I liked about, I'm going to go over this, the RWBY manga first. What I liked about this a lot is that this one actually stays as close to the events of the show as possible. Given, the show just wrapped up Volume 6. And with around 6 more volumes to go. So that's why I kind of like, this one kind of stays true to the events of the show. Up to the certain point. It's got some really cool artwork, all that stuff, and then the outfits, like from the varying characters, I found that really neat. As for the anthologies, I like the fact there's like different types of stories being told. Someone using like proper comic strips in a newspaper. It's about in how do I want to word this? It's like some of the other stories here. It's really fun for me to read. It's just I'm like, I just had a bit of a laugh, showed off, sense of humor, all that stuff. Now, I do want to point out, I'm going to flip it over really quickly. You see this, you'll see, some snide remark here from Roman Torchwick. And again, like I said, you can see stuff like this, but you noticed here that it's done in manga style. This is on purpose. In a Japanese manga, it's like you read it right to left, like it's designed here. Now, some of the stuff I didn't like, and I don't want to, and there's actually not for much for me to dislike. It's just that, how do I want to word this? When it comes to the stuff I disliked, there's nothing I could really dislike about RWBY in the sense of this particular manga right over here. It's because it's only up to a certain point. And sometimes it's necessary for a manga like this particular one where my camera is at, sometimes it's necessary. Because it's not up to the individual reader or viewer saying when they felt the show, quote unquote, ended in their eyes. Now, here with these particular individual anthologies, again, when it comes to this, the only thing I kind of didn't like is it's not so much the stories themselves. It's more so how people were reacting to it. As if they felt it was canon, it's actually not. And like I said earlier in this video, take everything you see in these anthologies with a grain of salt, because you never know. Some stuff can get confirmed. Some stuff does not get confirmed. And only people I would rely on in the sense of who confirms it, confirms whatever, it's the people who actually write for the show, not the thing with the voice actors actors, whatever, because they can say one thing and then the show confirms something, either the complete opposite or another person, But again, it's something, I'm like, it's just one of those, it's like, there's anything I learned, from like playing very mobile gacha games, is to take information you're given with a grain of salt, because what may work for one person may not be, what may be the case for one scenario, it's definitely not the same exact thing for another. And this is what I caught on with these anthologies. And again, so when it comes down to the scores for these particular books, again, there's going to be 2 sets. It's going to be a bit of a collective as opposed to like each individual one. So if you're a diehard RWBY fan and you really like everything about it, I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10. And my personal score is going to be a 9 out of 10. And it's only because I almost never give anything a 10 out of 10. Just for sake of what it is. Plus, the whole thing is, it's like with RWBY, like this particular manga right here, it's like they left it up to a certain point in the show. And it's like some people can like go back and forth, hey, it should be more volumes like this. However, I kind of like it. They did it like this because it's like, I always feel like certain things are up to individual interpretation. And that's why I encourage everybody, just take everything you're given, whether it comes to manga, anime, mobile gacha games, video games, anything that's not confirmed as canon, take it with a grain of salt, interpret it your way, but I also beg you not to shove their ideologies down other people's throats, because it just makes people feel very uncomfortable. And sadly, me personally, it creates certain things called shipping wars, and I don't like to be a part of that. So, again, when it comes to the RWBY manga, as well as these particular anthologies, I personally give it a 9 out of 10, and it's only because I almost never give anything a 10 out of 10. But if you're a diehard RWBY fan, I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10. And this is Wolvie here. I don't know when I'm going to be doing the next book review. I think I have a couple of things here or there, but when it comes to the book, you might have seen it in the background a little bit, which is the Tori Amos comic book Tattoo. That one's not going to be coming out till very late May, possibly the beginning of June. Because again, I have a lot of stuff going on in my real life, as well as the fact is I still got a lot more of it to read. But this is going to be my last book review for a little while. It's got a bunch of real life stuff going on. And again, I got to read the comic book Tattoo before I review it. But again, for the final scores, if you're a RWBY fan, I would give this a 10 out of 10. My personal score, once again, is a 9 out of 10. And it's only because I almost never give anything a perfect 10. Unless it's just too really, really, really good to where I cannot fault it for any reason. And I'll catch you all on the flip side.